Hey guys, it's Nick with another topic on Nick's Topics. And we are doing the finale of What If Rick Was Never in a Coma? Now, the reason it is a finale is because even though this would affect The Walking Dead a lot more, I feel like the first part summed up mainly everything good enough. And this finale will pretty much wrap things up. There's not too much more to cover. Now we enter with the group, as little as it is, entering Alexandria, consisting of Morgan, Dwayne, Sophia, Carol, Sasha, Father Gabriel, Glenn. Now, as I explained in the last part, there is no Maggie or Herschel or Daryl, Merle, or Abraham's group. If you want to figure out why, go to the first part. Check that out. Now, as for Carl, he had been affected a lot less in the apocalypse, with Lori living longer too. Well, and also not really seeing much, so he would be season 3 mindset, pretty much. Now, as for Rick, he would be the same, because all that majorly happened to the group was the death of Shane and the effects that happened at Terminus. There was no governor, as I explained in the first part, and there is no claimers, which both of those affect the group massively too. And their interviews with Deanna, are a lot different too. The group is a lot nicer and shorter than it is in the original. And Morgan and Dwayne are actually around, along with Sophia, which affects a lot too. Now, the situation with Pete still escalates, but better so because the group is nicer than they were in the original. Because they're pretty much all in, like, an earlier mindset than Season 5, even though they're in Alexandria. So, no one would get killed here, and we wouldn't get the whole Ricktatorship speech outside in the middle of the street, which would affect everyone's mindsets in Alexandria a lot more. Pretty much, no one would be up for truly fighting. And, that would definitely be a very bad thing for the group. Whenever the wolves start to attack. Now, unfortunately, when the wolves do attack, after a long moment of peace in Alexandria, when the wolves attack and the herd comes in, this pretty much means doom for Alexandria. Now, I bet you're wondering, wait a minute, this doesn't seem like a happy ending for the story at all. And why is it so short? Well, let me explain. Because everyone is in a nicer mood set. Like, they were affected a lot less in this kind of story. So, Alexandria would basically be weaker. They would stand no chance. So I'm sorry to say that Rick's story and everyone's story ends here. Like I said, sorry to say that, but that's just the way of things in this story. Now, as for Negan, he would still be around, keeping deals with Hilltop and the Kingdom and the Junkyard. He would just really... If the Saviors came across Alexandria, it'd be overrun, and they would either try to save it and rebuild it, or completely ignore it because there's no people. So yeah, Negan would basically be looking for other places and people to save, and there'd be no war with the Saviors. Now, as for the Whisperers, they would probably... Here's 2 things that I think could happen. They would either A, stay in low and keep themselves around hordes, or eventually cross paths with Negan and the Saviors. So basically, all the colonies, if Rick wasn't around, they would basically be doomed to either Alpha or Negan. So that's pretty much where the story ends. What do you guys think of it? Did you like how the story turned out? Probably not. Now, I'm truly sorry to the people who wanted a happier ending, because in the stories that I've done so far, well, I can't say, I've only done like a few certain topics, and they haven't been relatively happy, basically. From my, well, some parts of the story can be good, but they're not too happy of endings. Yet, there are stories with happy endings that I will definitely cover in the future. But yeah, this is pretty much what would happen. If Rick lived and didn't get the coma, well, I say lived. If he basically was never in a coma, the group would basically be worse off. They'd be weaker, and by the time, even if they got to Alexandria, they would basically be doomed right off the bat, with no fighter, instinct in all of them. Now, as I said before, Daryl and Merle went off on their own, if you saw that in part 1, and Abraham and Rosita and Eugene, they went off on their own, so they would likely get overrun by zombies anyway, so there would be, The Walking Dead would basically be over. Yeah, and that's basically where the story is done. As I said, how did you guys like it? Did you like this kind of adaptation to The Walking Dead? Do you think that something like this could have occurred? Leave a comment down below, and request any Walking Dead or What If topics that you want me to cover in the future, because I truly think that this would be a fascinating topic, but also sadly a sad ending for Rick and the group. There would be no true character development, and it would honestly be kind of boring in a way. So, yeah, that pretty much covers the story. I will be back next Tuesday with a preview for the next topic that I'm going to be covering, because some of these topics are big and I like to do previews so that way I have more time to work on them. But anyway, guys, that's all. I will see you guys later.